I love setting up cameras. What a joyous occasion just to do that. Hot damn, I look good today. People, I have finally done it. I have finally gotten a haircut after all this time. It feels and looks rather strange because it's very weird not having, you know, a massive amount of hair all over the place. But honestly, it's just nice to have it all gone. But apart from now being well groomed, welcome back to the channel, everybody, with today's video. Today we're going to be talking about a Netflix anthology series that personally is one of my favourite shows ever. And hopefully I'll go into a good amount of detail that is convincing enough for you to go and watch this, because seriously, you need to watch this, otherwise you are missing out. What are you, some kind of loser missing out? Are you fucking loser? You suck. Just before we start though, a few little things to mention. Being posted not long after this video is a brand new Rake video. It did not get many views upon initial release of the first one, but that was because we didn't have like over 200 subs then. So hopefully this time it will perform well, but more importantly I hope that you guys enjoy it, because I've been pumping so much time into this video because I've got to meet a specific deadline of May 14th. So, you know, I've been working around the clock on that. Hopefully also I'll be working on VR videos soon, because I said I would give those to you. I haven't found the sufficient time to do it. Also, I haven't been bothered to actually figure out how to record those yet, but don't worry, I am getting around to that as gradually as possible. And finally, what's worth mentioning is the fact that I'm actually re-recording this video again, solely because the last one was recorded yesterday, and yesterday wasn't very nice weather, so everything looked really drab and like drained of colour. And then suddenly today was all rise and shine, everybody, and so I was like, well, let's do this again and hopefully not make it look like Soviet Russia. If I've been merciful enough to leave anything from yesterday's recording, then I'll show it right now. That's a good brew, actually. I quite like that. Oh, the fucking... Oh, gee... Oh. So whether I've included the show's name in the title, I don't know, but basically the show is called Love, Death and Robots. The basic forte of Love, Death, Robots is that it's a sci-fi anthology series, and for those of you who don't know what an anthology series is, it's just a show where like each episode has a different narrative, or like a different season follows a different narrative each season. So the episodes aren't directly tied unless like in theme or something, which in this, of course, they are tied in theme. The reason for that is that each episode in the anthology series has to follow the thematic stimulus that is detailed in the title, which is love, death, and robots. Every episode has to follow at least one of these themes, and it can be explored in so many different ways, and honestly the show is proof of that, because some of the ideas that they come up with are just like absolutely brilliant, given you're only meant to go off of like 3 words. And personally for me, as a media student, it is absolutely brilliant because you can study all of the media language and actually look at the creative process they had in like developing this, because honestly it's just like whoa. Because the ideas and themes you could get around love and death, you know, these really deep and versatile subjects that could be explored in personal ways, or life after death, or what love truly means. And then to add the thing that ties the genre down, you've got robots, which can be explored and like, oh no, robots bad, or oh no, robots good. And I love Love, Death, Robots. That feels very weird to say, because of how innovative and creative the ideas are in this show, based off of like the most simple thing. The guy who's the creative producer, I think, behind, and also just the show's overall creator, is Tim Miller, and he is most well known for directing the first Deadpool movie. And you can imagine that the adult humor and insane violence is very well translated over with Tim Miller's creative outlook, which coincidentally for him is actually what put him in the spotlight for being able to do this, because Netflix saw Deadpool, saw the way he does adult humor and violence, and they were like, you know what, I think this is pretty good, we need to get this guy on something. And luckily Tim had been sitting on Love, Death, Robots for I think literally so long, like since the early 2000s, and he finally managed to see his creation come into fruition in 2019, because that's when the first volume came out. So with all of the context and basic stuff behind us now, how about we actually talk what is so good about this show and why you should bloody well watch it. First and foremost, the best selling point of the show has got to be the creative styles and animations that people have made in this, because holy hell are they impressive. The entirety of the world was absolutely scoured by Tim Miller to go and find all of these different like studios and stuff all around the world, and to say the results are like, you know, good is a bit of an understatement, because the results are amazing. The show has 2 distinctive ways of animating, and that'll be photorealism, or like actual artistic unique style, and also that one episode that's done with humans, but that one's kind of just there. The actual visuals for some of the photorealism and animation is just it's just beautiful. Oh my god, it is like groundbreakingly, interstellarly stunning, some of it. But seriously though, the animation and art design in this is just so amazing. It is without a question half of the selling point of this show. It is such an experience to see all of these insanely realistic looking, with that mix of incredibly colourful and vibrant and unique art styles. And with the point about the stunning visuals and creation put to one side now, we can talk about the narrative as well. Or should I say narratives? Some of the narratives are really quite inventive, and also the twists that some of them involve are really good as well, because you don't see them coming, but also they make you think as well. The narratives of ones that are worth mentioning are Beyond the the one with the space bridge that doesn't work. That one has got a really strong narrative with a twist at the end that's just like, oh okay, wow, that is disturbing to say the least. Because beforehand it's been like fairly calm and everything's been looking like really slick and clean looking, and then that thing comes along. Another one with an absolutely brilliant narrative is Sony's Edge, which follows like this girl who fights monsters in pits, and there's a really good twist at the end as well. Also, I strongly rate that one because, violence at an extreme level. One that has a particularly, unique concept is the one that follows the story of yogurt taking over the world. Actual yogurt taking over the world. Petit Faloo, fucking munch bunch. And it sounds like a mental concept, and it is, but in the short 6 minutes that it tells its story, it really does make you fear yogurt taking us over. It's quite entertaining to watch as well because, well, you know, it's yogurt taking over the world, need I say more? And the final one I want to mention via its narrative is the one called Good Hunting, which follows like two people have to adapt to their like world and lives around them, completely changed by British colonialism invading their home. And just to fit better with the whole like sci-fi genre thing, it's a lot more steampunky than the British Empire actually was. Just to give that further selling factor, because who the hell doesn't want to watch the steampunk British Empire? God save the fucking Queen. Moving on now to a third point, which isn't as, you know, like the whole, oh yeah, no, it's narratively it's really strong and creatively it's an absolutely amazing piece. I'm an artistic critic. Fuck you. I shove cornflakes up my ass because it symbolizes the oppression I face in society. The critiquing aside, the whole thing is just genuinely really entertaining to watch. You can see that Tim Miller and all the studios involved really enjoyed making the project because each and every one has got so much effort and love put into it. And the payoff of that is just a really good and well thought out show. Some are actually so entertaining and high concept they should genuinely be developed into like proper shows. For example, you've got the episode called Secret War, which follows the Soviet soldiers who have to fight in Russia because they're not fighting the actual Germans. As a matter of fact, they are fighting demonic creatures that have been unleashed by what I think was a Nazi deserter who wanted to like take over the world or something. I can't entirely remember, but whatever it was really good. And despite the fact what happens at the end, you genuinely could develop that into like a fully fledged show because the whole like Russians having to fight demons with like, you know, World War II technology, it's really interesting to watch, and it's also insanely violent, and I like that a lot. Thumbs up from me. Then you have the one called Suits, which follows like farmers who have to protect their farmland from invading aliens. Well, you know, the aliens are the invaders. And in terms of sci-fi, I would honestly say that is an absolute money-making Skrilla jackpot right there, especially because you're putting like the stereotypical farmers and their dynamic mixed in with like aliens and giant mech suits. It's really quite interesting to watch. One that's really entertaining for a character dynamic is Blind Spots, which follows like a bunch of people having to pull off a heist, and within the very short amount of time, I do find myself really enjoying the characters. And the character dynamic between them, of course, it's not like absolutely amazing because you need like a fully fledged show to be able to do that, which is the exact point I'm trying to make here, funnily enough. They all have very good chemistry together, which works insanely well with the animation as well, which is very fast-paced and smooth, and the whole thing, honestly, it needs to be developed on. And the final one I mentioned for an entertaining concept is the one called Alternate Histories, which, as you guessed it, follows on alternate history. And what other better alternate history is there to follow than Hitler's death? In the 6 concepts that you're given in that episode, you are given some of the most absolutely absurd ideas possibly ever conceived around the death of Hitler, and honestly, it's brilliant. I'm not going to mention what those 6 alternate histories are because, I want to leave you for that fun surprise. But that one's really good for its comedy, and the animation is really stylistic as well. It works quite nicely for adding to that comedic effect of looking at alternate histories. Honestly, it would translate the best out of Love, Death, Robots into a fully fledged standalone show. But yes, now that I've passionately told you my points about this, I've made my 3 points. I'm going to push them to the side over there. As you can see, I absolutely love this show, and I hope that the kind of passion I'm giving it tells you that you need to watch this show. I'm not saying it's at the level of Black Mirror, which is like a fully fledged several season longer episode kind of thing that focuses more on the concepts rather than the actual artistic style of it and all of that. But in terms of being like a smaller kind of passion project thing meant to be for like, you know, kind of what niche sort of, it should not be that good for something that's so minute really. And also if you go and watch it now, the second volume is out very, very soon, which means you don't have to wait as long as I did for the second volume. Also because by then I should hopefully have the second rake video out, which I've been working on like madness, so you know, it'd be quite nice to sit down, relax, and enjoy one of my favourite things, you know. And just before we wrap things up, I just want to talk about my 3 favourite Love, Death, Robots episodes, because this is where the passion's really going to come in if you aren't convinced to watch this already. One of my favourite ones is the first one in the first volume, which is 3 Robots. And 3 Robots follows, well, 3 robots going on a tour around a nuclear annihilated Earth, basically, and it's very, very, very entertaining. Basically, 3 robots set the tone for the entire show quite well, gets you very neutral, ready for what's going to be coming, because there's a lot of things coming your way if you watch it. Another one of my favourites is The Witness, which I am honestly very surprised I've not talked about so far, because that is by far one of the best ones on there. The Witness is is a really short story one with probably the best animation style I think I have ever seen. I cannot put into words how like absolutely amazing it is to watch. It just speaks for itself. Dude, seriously, go and watch it. Like, even if you don't watch the entire show, just go and watch The Witness, because it is an experience I think everyone needs to feel. And then finally, there is my favorite one, which is the end of the first volume, which is Zima Blue. You've got this astronomical journey across the universe to find meaning and deeper meaning in the bigger picture, whereas in the end, all that really matters is finding satisfaction in the smaller things. And that absolutely beautiful message is so well translated into the visual style and the narrative, and the ending is just so impactful. It's like, oh my god, I want more of it. Now that I've actually tamed down my passion and I've gotten out all of the points I feel I need to get out about Love, Death, Robots, I'm gonna end this off here, everybody. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far. I do hope you enjoyed this. I do hope you also go off and watch Love, Death, Robots as well, because seriously, it is worth your time. Remember to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. God knows if we're still on the road to 1K by the time this is uploaded. I bloody well hope not. Leave a comment if you have watched this show, because I'd love to see your thoughts and opinions of it. And one final thing, all of the like passion and excitement put aside, genuinely, I think you should check it out. Of course, it's not like a life-changing thing or something, but seriously, I think you should check it out. And on that note, thank you for watching, and I will see you when I see you, which will hopefully be for the Rake 2.